thank you for being here today. In this presentation, I will discuss my findings from my user research regarding the Hub Dining Area Waste Disposal System. This is a quote from one of the interview participants. It exemplifies everything we do not want our waste system to be. This participant found herself feeling embarrassed when she could not figure out how to sort her waste. She spent so much time only to eventually give up and throw it into the landfill. This is one example of how some UW students feel when they are using the current system. This presentation will show the findings of my research and end with a few recommendations and future steps to improve our system. The purpose of this research is to understand the underlying motivations behind users' actions when disposing of waste to propose data-driven design solutions for future waste disposal systems at the Hub and University of Washington campus, with the goal of identifying opportunities for improvement and provide recommendations for future designs. The primary users for this research is University of Washington students who frequently eat at the Hub dining area, with the intent to investigate if the current waste disposal system addresses the pain points and needs of its users, and if not, how it can be modified. The research spanned 10 weeks and included 3 30-minute peer observation sessions of the Hub dining area, 3 30-minute semi-structured interviews that were taking place at the Hub and Engineering Academic Center, and a survey that received 30 responses. For my analysis, I utilized a host of methods including affinity diagramming, thematic analysis, and statistical analysis to uncover key findings throughout the 3 research methodologies. I chose to use affinity diagramming in my survey analysis to conduct larger themes and relate them to my previous findings first, and then move into statistical analysis. While there were several findings throughout this research, I equated key findings with ones that were strongly supported by at least 2 of the 3 research methodologies. Impact of visual aids was the strongest finding and was validated throughout all 3 methodologies. Poor visual aids is a major factor when students throw waste into the landfill. In addition, confidence is important for students when sorting waste and was evident in the interviews and survey data. Students who sort waste often are more confident in their decision and therefore may sort waste more frequently and with greater ease. Finally, peer pressure plays a role in if students take the time to sort waste. There is also indication that women feel more pressure from peers and subsequently fail to sort waste. All of these findings result in a failure to sort and waste being thrown into the landfill, which harms the environment and is a financial burden to the UW, who has to pay more for disposing of landfill waste. For my first finding, it was evident that visual aids were a significant part of the user sorting experience. The participants mentioned several instances in which they were unsure of which bin to dispose of their waste. In these cases, there were no clear labels on food packages, and/or they could not find the package on the waste bin displays. There was also a case where plastic food-like packages, which were plant-based and compostable, caused significant confusion because of its clear and almost indistinguishable compostable label. Because of this, they felt confusion and ultimately threw the waste into the landfill. The survey found that 75.9% of participants often or always agree that poor visual aids contributed to them throwing waste into the landfill. In addition, unclear package labels that led participants to throw waste into the landfill was rated as a higher contributor than unclear visual aids on waste dispense by 34.5% of participants. This suggests that package labels may influence students more when deciding where to put waste. Based on the finding that signage and additional visual aids significantly influences students' ability to sort, designers need to standardize bin displays. More prominent labels should be placed on packages, especially on the clear food containers that were widely used and misrepresented as recyclable, as well as other boxes, silverware, and cups served on campus. We should also implement color-coded labels. For example, the labels and/or stickers could be blue for recycling, green for compost, and light gray indicating landfill, as seen on the side of the screen. There needs to be a clearer message and standard process for students to adopt that is easy enough for novice sorters or participants that rarely come to the hub. My second finding indicates that students who are more familiar with sorting waste or with the dining area have higher confidence in their decisions when sorting, as indicated in the graph. Therefore, I infer that students who are less familiar with the hub sorting system will be less confident. This is significant when looking at the population of the hub dining area. There are massive amounts of freshmen that eat there as well every year, and as well a new class arrives. When speaking with interviewees, all of them related back to their first year here at UW, and they all remembered their frustration and embarrassment when they had to sort waste. Tying in this finding with my third finding, the presence of people when approaching the waste bin area leads students to feel more rushed and throw waste into the landfill. Overall, 62% of participants indicated that they felt most rushed when a person or people were behind them. There was also evidence that gender was playing a role. The feeling of being rushed or pressured was evident in interviews where both women participants had experienced this situation multiple times, while the male participant said he never felt rushed or pressured, but has had pressured his friends on occasion. The evidence that women feel more rushed when people are behind them was validated by the survey, where 71.4% of women indicated that they were very rushed, while only 37.5% of males said the same. Finding 2 and 3 focus on what the user feels and experiences when using the current waste sorting system. For this reason, the current system needs to be redesigned to be user-friendly, intuitive, and will not make novice users feel anxious or embarrassed. In addition, the system needs to be quick to use, since students on average spend less than 10 seconds sorting waste, as found in my survey. Therefore, short-term, the UW can hire a small staff of professional sorters. This would give the greatest convenience to the user while also leading to fewer instances of error and miscategorizations. And as a financial incentive, 52% of food waste that used to go into the landfill bins would be converted to compost, which would result in the university only paying $55 per compostable ton rather than $145 a ton for landfill. As a long-term solution, the UW could invest in a smart system that is voice and/or audio enabled and reinforces positive sorting habits while informing students if they are unsure of how to sort. Moving forward, there is 3 areas to focus on. We need to conduct further quantitative research to confirm findings for a larger portion of the UW population. This includes finding more men to confirm that rushed behavior is a trait exhibited by women. If this is the case, we may design the system differently to cater towards this population. From there, we should implement design solutions that best suit the needs of the users. We should also standardize current sorting procedures and displays on campus and increase awareness and education of sorting practices. Something surprising and in need of further investigation is how my findings from my observation, interviews, and survey contradict each other at times. What I thought I knew and what I learned from my initial research was contradicted in part with the survey results. For instance, my observation and interviews found that the majority of users dump waste quickly into the landfill or compost bins without necessarily sorting. But when asked in a survey, 60% of participants said that even if they feel rushed, they take the time to sort. This may indicate a type of bias from the participant when taking a survey. It may be easier to remember what you think you do versus what you do in the moment. Thus, further validation of this behavior should be explored on a larger scale. Looking back on this research, there were several important teaching moments where I learned what worked well and what did not. I found that organization and focus is important for observations. Strong interviews begin with strong questions, intense listening, and tailored follow-up questions. And surveys need to reflect your findings while also being structured in a way that can later be analyzed. In all, I think this research report was done well. In the future, I would focus on my interview research and expanding on my research to incorporate larger diversity among participants. Thank you for your time.